Hello, welcome to Healing Conversations with Ntabise Ngwepe. Tonight's edition, we speak drug addiction, its mental toll on our children, and more profoundly, on the parents of the children who commit their lives to alcohol and commit their lives to drug abuse. Statistics tells us that South Africa is quickly becoming a drug hub. Minor children are on substance abuse. There are all manner and sorts of drugs available, easily accessible on the streets to our children. But as parents, what does one do when you're confronted with a situation where you're dealing with a child who is battling such addictions? It's bound to take its toll on your health, mentally and physically. Some have even paid the price financially. Many assets have been lost in the process when children addicted to narcotics and alcohol end up stripping their parents of everything they own. My guest has undertaken such a journey. Tonight I am joined by Lucille Pinar, a mother who knows this journey all too well. She's here to share with us the struggles she faces personally and her family over the addiction that she found herself confronting her son over. Lucille, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am, for welcoming me in your show.
Thank you so much. You are a professional nurse.
Yes, I am.
And you find yourself with 30 years of experience in the nursing sector, having to identify the behavior patterns of your son. How did you first spot that I'm dealing with a child who's addicted to drugs?
Honestly speaking, I never spotted anything. I was told by an old lady that stays opposite me. I was staying in Reger Park for 17 years, not knowing anything. Me and my husband was just, innocent souls, not knowing a thing. While the boy was actually sitting and selling the things on the veranda. And then this old lady called me one day and said to me, "Come here, my child. You've been working so hard. Every day you and your husband go to work and come back. Do you ever see anything?" I said, "No, I don't see anything." She said, "Come here, I want to tell you something."
She's referring to anything missing, or you're not sure?
I don't know what she wanted to tell me. So when I enter her house, she sat me down and said to me, "When you leave work in the morning and your son leave work, half an hour to an hour, your son is coming back with a trop of children in the house. And it's a lovely house while you work so hard." Then she said, "But please don't tell him I told you that." I said, "No, it's okay. Thanks for telling me." And it ended there. So I start doing my own homework. Once you start doing your own homework as a parent, it's when your eyes will open. So I start doing my homework, went into Google, monitoring all the actions, all the behavior patterns, and then I downloaded the things from Google and opened a file for myself. After opening the files, I monitored the boy. Exactly what the granny told me opposite is what I saw. Now start searching his things without him knowing. And then it's how we identify that my son is using cigarettes, dacha, and that time it was tick.
Tick.
Yeah. So it went on. And for my husband was also now alert, monitor the boy's movements. When the boy go to school, he'll be monitoring the boy also. The boy won't go to school. He'll pass the school. And my husband was following him until the one certain day we found the things on his pocket, selling it for the landlords or the people.
So he was now at a point where he was no longer a user, but also a trader.
Yes. So my husband took him to the police station himself to be locked up. But because he was underage, they refused.
At what age was your son then?
14. Between 12 and 14.
So he's still in primary school. And he's already heavily involved.
So the journey went on. Our first time we sent him to a rehabilitation center. It was somewhere in Pretoria, Mamelodi or Shashanguve, one of the two places. When he came out, it was not long before he went back. But one thing I need to pinpoint on is that, you know what, drug addiction is not a quick fix. That we as parents need to understand. It's not something that I can take, it's like a car. I take it to the garage, they fix it, and out it comes and it's fixed. It's a journey. It's a process.
So what you expected out of the drug rehabilitation center that he went to was maybe from the understanding that he would come back reformed. So he came back, he's not reformed.
But you'll never be reformed. That's the point. You cannot be reformed in 6 weeks. If I was smoking for 8 years, or let's say 4 years, can I be reformed in 6 weeks?
It's a habit that is really in your life.
So it takes some time. It can take 2 years, up to 3 years, even 5 years to come out of it. You can't just, like I said, it's not a quick fix. And we as parents, we think if my child goes to the rehab, it takes him 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months, then he'll be fixed. It's not that easy.
Now, let's talk about confronting your son, because when you take him to rehab, surely there was a conversation of some sort. Did you confront him and say, this is what we've discovered?
Yes, I did confront him, and guess what? He took me to the police station and he went and fetched the police for me to come and lock me up because I'm beating him. That was my first confrontation. Then that day I came from the varsity, it was on a Tuesday, and when I entered the house, I saw the police waiting for me. So I was wondering, what did the boy do now? The police said, no, we're waiting for you. I said, really? Okay, how can I help you? Then they said, no, the boy came to the police station, you're beating him because you found cigarettes under his pillow. I said, really, did I beat him? Yes, I did. Let me show you what I'm going to do. So I went into the bedroom, I fetched the cigarettes that I found under his pillow, and I fetched the Bible. Do you know what the Bible is, ma'am?
No, I don't. I've got no idea what that is.
Do you remember the time when this vuvuzela came in?
Yes.
Those Bibles that you make a noise with.
Oh, yes.
Then
Yes.
That whistle. Then I went in the bedroom and I fetched the Bible. And I beat him in front of the police with that thing. And I said to the police, now you can come and lock me up. After locking me up, please take him and drive with him in your van for a week and see if you can cope with this boy. So the police didn't take me. They also didn't take him. They warned him instead and said, if he does 1, 2, 3 again, they will lock him up instead of me. And today's children, if you confront them, if you rectify them, if you correct them, if you punish them, you are a very bad parent. We must only do what the children want us to do.
And be their friend.
And we can't. If we as parents know our worth, then we need to stand up against our children. We also need to arm ourselves against our children. Because the 5 principles is the why, the who, the when, the what, and the where. If we overlook those 5, the children will trample all over you. If they say 1, you must say 10, because they want whatever they want. And they don't care about us. They only care about our money. As long as we can give our children money, we enable them, we do for them, they are the happiest children.
Have you, against what you're saying just now, the dangers of parenting with money? Because I see that some parents are really not mindful of, where their children are, what company they are keeping, what are they really up to, the kind of habits that their children have built. It's more like we are in a society where you want the latest iPhone, take. Go to the mall with your friends, just keep out of my way, somehow. Is that the culture that also promotes this kind of things that we see our children?
I don't think it's a culture. I think our children point blank take advantage of us. Remember, children are children. They know our weak points. They know our strong points. If our children see our weak points as me, myself, as a parent, I'm lazy, I don't care, I'm always busy, like you said, wherever they go, what they do, then the children take advantage of that step. Remember, children are very cunning, baffling, and very clever. They monitor everything, and they just come back in another form. If my child, or if your, I don't know, my child, if my child see, mommy always got money in a purse, and my child is an addict, you'll start taking 5 rand, 10 rand, 15 rand, you don't see it. So tomorrow he'll demand 200 rand, and if you said you don't have, but you every day got money in your purse, you see, that's how children cultivate their own culture. We've not been taught that in our days. If our parents said, I don't have, they don't have. But our children, if you say, I don't have, they're so persistent that you have to give it to them. And we as parents don't owe our children anything.
That's why I think we see most parents fall living in traps of, going beyond what they can afford, because the child not wants but demands. My friends have this, so I need to have this, and parents end up giving in to that.
Exactly.
Now, your son, he goes into rehab, he comes back. How soon was he back to the drugs?
The first time when he went for 6 weeks, he was clean around 3 months. And he went back. You know, the one thing over the 14 years that my son is on drugs that I've been realizing is that it's a back and a forth struggle. Sad to say, but once a drug addict, always a drug addict.
So
unless you change the mindset, the friends, the company, the environment. But if not, you're going right back.
So the child goes to rehab, comes back, goes to the same environment.
Yes.
So they become a victim of the
Circumstances.
of the cycle, of the environment, of the friends that they keep, and soon enough, their story becomes drug addiction, rehab, relapse, rehab.
Yeah, back and forth.
And how does then one begin to change the mindset of someone in such a situation?
What I did, because I realized it's a back and forth, then I sent my son to Cape Town, far away from us. He had to go into 2 years there. He did a full year there.
2 years of rehab.
Rehab with school. Grade 11 and grade 12.
So it's a rehab center
And a school.
and a school.
So he was away from the environment. He did very well. He accomplished a lot of things. He was going to accomplish his matric and so on. And he decided, you know what, I'm done with this place. After me paying 74,000, the boy decided, I'm running away.
At what point does he make this decision that he's had enough? How long has he even been through the project? The
He
program?
was in Cape Town 6 months. Then when he came home, we took him right back.
So he runs away from the rehab and runs back home. How does he make it from Cape Town to where?
He hiked with all his clothes. He gave a pair of shoes and they take him to that point. From that point, they hike to another point and they give this. That's how they come home.
I'm tempted to say, are you serious?
Yes, madam, I'm serious.
All the way from Cape Town to Joburg.
Yes.
And when he walks in, what do you say as a parent?
No, he never came straight home. He went to my husband's sister in Kimberley and she notified us and we said, no, come home. When he came home, we took him right back. I think that's what all the parents must do. When the children run home, please take them back. Because if we do not, we enable them. We're actually telling them indirectly, continue with what you're doing. You do a good job.
He comes home and without a doubt, is he crying? But he's trying to convince you how bad that place is for you.
Always. Every place where they are going, it's bad. And I don't think it's bad. They are the problem. We must always remember that wherever our children goes, there's no dustbin for them. Nobody's going to take my child. Nobody's going to take your child. We have to fix our children because there's no husband.
So what do you say as a parent who's going through the struggle with other children? Because he's not your only child, and he's got siblings in the house, and they are sitting watching all of this unfold. How does it affect the other children in the house?
It really does affect my children. I'm just going to give you a scenario. I got my boy who's 27. And then I got a girl that's 17 turning 18. She just finishes matric. It really affected her. And then I adopted 2 children. The one boy left me long time ago because also of drugs, then I sent him also away. And the other boy did matric year before last, which was 2021. That boy was so affected that he left the house, by himself. I think he just couldn't take it. Because you talk, the person that's actually doing the act does affect us so much, but he doesn't see anything wrong. That's the problem. They don't see anything wrong. It does affect me mentally, physically, not even to talk about financially, because they are in the demand barn. They are in the demand plan. They are in the demand, they are in your budget, they are in your life, they are in your finances, they are everywhere where they don't belong. And you know what's the problem? They think you owe them.
So if you don't give, mommy, if I want money and you don't give, it's a point of serious contention.
It's very, I don't even, if I can tell you now, you will actually be so embarrassed, but I need to tell you. It's like from bottom to top, you'll be said how bad you are, how don't you care, I'm your child, you don't do anything for me, all the horrible names that you'll be called because you don't want what your things.
Aggression?
It was in the beginning. There was a lot of resistance, a lot of aggression. And then I stood up, I don't know how many times. I think also our government or our police force or our children's court are failing us. Because I don't know how many times did I go to court. A mother and a son standing together in one court. I had to lay my problem, I had to tell my story. Interdict will be reach out, the boy will just come back. That's what I said, it's a back and forth with them, a back and forth fight.
Has he ever physically laid his hands on you?
No, not really, because I'm a strong person. He tried at some time. He nearly, there was a night where he used a knife. He nearly killed me and I ran into one of the people that's staying by me and I ran into their place. And it demolished all the windows. And I took him to court and we stand in court together. And I won the case. Just imagine he went and take out a lawyer for me. He had a lawyer, I didn't have any.
And you go to court with your son, you come back.
And I even gave him a lift to court.
And in the evening, you're back in the same house together?
Yes, it's my house, I pay my bond. Then I tell the court I don't want him there, 2-3 days he'll be back there, nothing will be done about it.
Do you feel to a certain extent that the lack of discipline in enforcement of the law, I don't know if I should even say that, rather the encouragement against disciplining the children,
it's a problem,
contributes to where we are?
Yes, it does. Because now that we cannot discipline the children or beat the children, this is the results. This is definitely the results. Because from a younger age, I think from the age of 9 or 10, they brought in the law that we cannot beat our children. Remember? And now, how did the children turn out? It's not only my child. It's most of the communities where the children are beating the parents, where the children are taking the parents' money. How many grandparents and old people come and complain about the pensions that's been taken by the children? Why? No discipline.
And you try to discipline, don't you dare, I'll call the cops on you.
Exactly, that's what they do, call the cops for you, that you beat them. But the cops won't even ask why you beat them. That's why I went back and fetched the Bible and beat him in front of the cops to say, this is what I did in the morning. I'm doing it again. So do whatever you want to do.
I often hear stories of people who have, been in close proximity or relation with drug addicts, that you'll go to work and you'll come back and find that he has sold Tupperwares. One lady that I know once said her son physically removed curtains from her house to sell them.
It's true, with the similarity happened in my house too. I don't know how many grinders did I had. My husband used to buy all the tools he need. Grinders, welding machine, all the tools. And when you look where they are, you only find boxes. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. Out of the 4 of us, the 2 is schooling, we are working, he's at home. It cannot walk out. It cannot walk out. Your phone disappear with no trace. My PlayStation today, my heart is still, so I had a PlayStation that I valued a lot. The PlayStation with the bags and the games walk out of my door. Nobody saw it. And you dare not ask. You dare not ask parents.
Your purse, where do you put your purse?
I don't have a purse. I don't want a purse. And I don't want money.
So you never carry even any cash?
I don't want it because it's been stolen from me. I got a holder in my car. Whatever money is there doesn't belong to me. It belongs to whoever think they deserve it. So why should I have money? I don't want money. I don't carry money because it's a problem. I must not have anything in my house. Everything belongs to the boy. I don't have anything. I am nothing.
Have you ever sought family intervention? Someone to speak to him and, just maybe reason with him?
Many a times. I've called my sisters, I called my brother, I called elder people from my husband's side. I went how many times to the pastor? They got a mind of their own, the children, because the mind has been influenced, double vision, double ego, double everything. There's nothing you can teach them. They know it all. They know it all.
Speaking to your son, when you have a conversation with him, can you see that his faculties are actually not normal?
Yes.
Is it that obvious?
No, it's not that obvious. My son is he's a good-looking boy with a very soft heart. But it turned to be somehow else I don't understand. So from a younger age, I taught him that one reason and one agree to disagree. So that mentality, he used it as a tool against me. I will tell him, let me make a scenario. I'm not mentioning the name, remember? Listen here, boy, you can't do 1, 2, 3, it's wrong. He'll tell you 5, 6, 7, and he'll come with a better reasoning. But I know, I'm the parent, that the reasoning he's giving you is not a valid one. But he's doing it as long as he benefit. That's all about beneficial. If he can benefit out of any situation, it makes him the happiest person.
So do you feel that your son is duping you a lot? Lying to you, taking you for a ride?
He's not only doing that, he's taking advantage of me. He's even coming now to an extent to ask me, what do I do with my money? What do I do with my salary? What do I buy with my salary? What do I pay with my salary? I don't owe him any explanation for that.
So he expects you to account to him?
Yeah, and if I take the car and go somewhere, I must come and tell him why I'm late, why I'm coming home 7 o'clock. My husband doesn't treat me like that. He treats me very well. He doesn't ask me questions because he trusts me. If I go out and I tell him I'm going to work, I'm knocking off 7 o'clock. Why should I come and account to him? If I'm 5 minutes late, why should I answer to him? If I'm telling you, I don't have money this month, why should you cross-question me? I'm not working for you. I'm working for myself.
Lucille, can I ask you this question? And if you're not comfortable answering it, please let me know. How have you paid in all this? Have you paid with your marriage?
Yes, many a times. There was many times that I nearly divorced my husband because of this boy. He'll come with stories from the street telling my husband this and this and that. It will be always a fight. Always a fight in my house. And you know what? I learned not to defend myself.
What do you mean he will come with stories? Is it stories about you? Or is it...
Okay, let me make an example.
Yes.
I'm running a business currently, or I'm occupied with a lot of other things. If I come 9 o'clock home, or if they phone me and said, 3 o'clock, can we see you? I'll tell my husband, I'm quickly going there. Tomorrow he'll come and tell my husband, she was not there, she was there with Bunny's bunny, or this and this and that. Can you see that will create friction?
Yeah.
So now I must sit down and explain to my husband what I already told him. My husband is very understanding. And if I tell my husband I'm going there, he knows where I'm going, as long as I told him and he knows where I am. And if the boy doesn't get what he wants out of that situation, he turns the whole tables around, which is very other horrible things that I cannot mention here.
To get yourself a copy of our latest books, The Mending of a Broken Vessel and Maintaining Your Joy, a journal for daily positive living, visit a bookstore near you.